Climate tribes are speaking out after the world's largest dam removal project is finally completed.
I'm at the memorial for a man who was killed in a hit and run in Medford. The suspect appearing in court yesterday will have the latest updates on that case.
And we continued to cool down overnight, waking up to a pretty cold morning.
Watching out for you. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on Friday, October 18th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Damien Alvarado.
And I'm Brinkley Hill. Let's check in with Stormwatch 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress, because Sarah, we saw some rain the last couple of days. How are things looking similar or different for a Friday?
They're looking a little different. We will be drying out for our Friday, expecting mostly sunny skies for the region. But as you're heading out the door this morning, you'll definitely notice it's a little chilly outside. Right now, we're seeing a lot of blue on that screen and a lot of cool temperatures. We're into the 20s as we are into Klamath Falls and Lakeview. Colder as we do head north into the teens over into Chemult. As we make our way over, still waking up into the 30s, into Medford, even the 20s in some areas, into Northern California. The coast a little bit warmer this morning, but we will be warming up. We'll be still below average for today, but pretty close as we head over into Medford, into Klamath Falls. We're still about 6 degrees below for our high today. We'll be into the 50s, but definitely going to be feeling like fall if you're heading outside, and it's going to be very sunny for most of us. Into the 60s, even as we move down into Northern California, into Klamath Basin, it is going to be into the 50s for today for most of the area, and a little bit warmer as we do head over to the coast. Now it's going to remain dry for the first part of our weekend, possibly expecting some rain as we head into Sunday night. We'll talk more about that just coming up in a little bit.
The largest dam removal project in the world is complete, welcoming back in fish that were native to the land but unable to return to the region for nearly 100 years.
NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker went to the site of the final dam that was removed, giving us an inside look into this project and the response of those who wanted it completed.
Issue is cultural renewal, regaining what we lost from that fishing, not being able to fish these fish.
What was once filled with water and covered by a dam is now empty beside the stream of water flowing within the Klamath River. Being done to bring salmon back up the Klamath River, having been blocked for nearly a century due to the dams, cutting the Klamath tribe away from a third of their diet. But they're considering the dam removal project a success, because with the project just being completed this month, the salmon has already been spotted returning to the area. That salmon is on your screens now. This came after decades of advocacy and multiple agencies. The tribe says it's a testament to what we can do as a people.
If we have one goal, which all Americans should be concerned about, is producing and keeping clean our cold, clean water. If we have that as an objective as a people, there isn't anything that we can't do to cooperate with one another, because we all need that.
While the dams are removed, there's still 2 dams that prove to be hurdles for the fish. The Keno and Link River dams, but they say work is being done to improve the fish ladders for the fish to go through. Even with the effort and work being done, they say the work to fully restore the watershed and habitat has a long way to go.
It's far from being done. We have, of course, besides those 2 impediments that need to have the apparatuses to pass the fish to and from the upper basin, but also all the restoration work that we need to do in the headwaters.
In Siskiyou County, we're learning about a car crash into the Klamath River. The Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office said no one was killed, and they shared these photos on social media. The Sheriff's Office dive team was called to get the car out of the water on October 12th. All passengers were transported to an area hospital with injuries. The Sheriff's Office says alcohol was believed to be a factor in the crash.
This time, not guilty plea is received. We'll set a preliminary hearing 1 week from today, which is October 24th.
We're continuing to follow the fatal hit and run on South Pacific Highway.
Joining us live from the memorial for the victim is Luke Doe. And Luke, the suspect appeared in court.
Damien, Brinkley, good morning. 36-year-old Cassie Jane Cavanero appeared in court yesterday. She pleaded not guilty to all charges, and a judge set her bail at $1 million. Cavanero is currently facing 9 charges, including 3 felonies. 2 of those felonies are first and second degree manslaughter. She's also facing a DUI charge. Her next appearance in court is on October 24th for a preliminary hearing. Cavanero has faced 22 charges for separate cases before this one. The victim is identified as 41-year-old Jason Thomas. He's a former chef from Bend. Cavanero was arrested without a license or insurance after she allegedly hit Thomas on South Pacific Highway, where I'm at right now. This is a developing story. NewsWatch 12 will continue to keep you updated as we learn more information about this case. Live in Medford, Luke Doughton, NewsWatch 12.
It's always important to keep an eye out on the roads, but it's especially crucial right now as migration and breeding is out for state's wildlife, and they're on the move this October and November. ODOT says more than 6,000 deer are struck and killed each year, which can be a huge safety risk and possibly even fatal for drivers involved. One Eugene resident is sharing their strategy for dealing with wildlife on the roads.
At dusk and at night, we'll drive a little slowly and make sure we don't see any whites of any deer eyes, or just keep track of the wildlife and make sure we don't have any accidents with them.
That mindfulness is what Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife officials say you should maintain. To avoid accidents with deer, pay attention to wildlife crossing signs and use your brights when it's safe to do so. But most importantly, monitoring your speed is the best way to keep yourself and others safe. In Coos Bay and the surrounding rural areas have struggled for years, but $25 million in federal funds could change that.
Yeah, the Port of Coos Bay is transformed into the first fully ship-to-rail port facility on the West Coast. Madison Yeast is showing us the long-term impacts the economy this project could bring.
Infrastructure projects like the port development in Coos Bay often create short-term economic boosts. I spoke with Congresswoman Val Hoyle and other local leaders about how this project will reshape the area and translate into long-term growth and job sustainability. In our previous coverage, Oregon Representative Val Hoyle told us about her goals for the Port of Coos Bay.
I have been working to make sure that we get federal investment in our ports in the West Coast, on the southwest coast, specifically the Port of Coos Bay, which will bring 8,000 jobs to this region.
Today, that plan became reality. Millions of federal dollars are heading to Coos Bay to help transform the port, and the development will have huge long-term benefits in the community. It promises between 2,200 to 2,400 jobs throughout the construction stages, plus at least 6,000 permanent jobs to be added once the port is complete.
Fundamentally, we know 8,000 jobs are what we can count on, and then the jobs that benefit because you have more money in the community will be significantly beyond that.
The development is long overdue. Oregon's South Coast had a booming timber industry in the 1970s and 80s, but when the timber industry crashed, the area never fully recovered. Local officials are looking forward to the change.
The thousands of jobs alone that this would bring to the area, creating good wage jobs that families can live and work here and stay here instead of moving away. It's just going to increase the ability for the businesses to have even more consumers here, people living and growing in the area together. It's going to bring an economic boom to this area that we have been long awaiting.
Still, there is a long way to go before work begins on the port. And Congresswoman Hoyle says training the new workforce could take a decade. But the positive impact on Coos Bay and nearby rural Oregonians will make it all worth it.
I'm just excited that this investment will bring back not just money for these jobs currently, but also improve our economy for decades to come.